Good morning, everyone. It's Grandpa Butler. We're going to talk a little bit about Van Gogh styles, chunky versus creamy. So the idea here on Van Gogh is sometimes you have these wonderful pictures that have a lot of lines in them. So suppose we have the sunshine there, and then we have the atmosphere around it. And so we'll put some lines, and then we'll put some more sky in here, and then maybe we'll have some sky in the background going that way, and we will have some darker sky showing through, and of course all this is above a mountain with wonderfully colored curved lines, outlines. So we've used wonderfully colored curved lines before in our drawings here. So you can imagine doing some more lines there. So what's a chunky Van Gogh style? It's using watercolors to preserve those shapes. And so these are watercolor crayons. Grandpa's been using them to demonstrate his art for a couple months now. That's about how long. He just started in May 2021 doing this, and only recently started posting these videos. The idea here is to preserve that. If we stroke this, we get the smooth Van Gogh style. But if we just get some, and you can see right away what the problem is when you get over enthusiastic, is that you have these little bit of lines here that form up there. But that's the idea of preserving the lines here. Do more lines, you'll preserve them. Now what's a smooth style? So let's do the same kind of drawing here. And green going around. So the smooth Van Gogh style is what Grandpa's been showing you for the last week and a half, as he's kind of adopted that with his art here, and I put that in some videos. Grandpa realized that when he strokes it, we are combining stuff, so put some background sky in here, and maybe a few more lines here and there, and some of this other blue in here, and then we'll do our mountains again. So the nice thing about doing the creamy style of Van Gogh paintings here, right, is that you have more control over what's going on. So we dip our brush here, and so for the sky, we can stroke it this way, and when you come around the sun there, we can go around in a kind of circle. What it does, though, is it does mix up some of the colors. You can see you do have this added control, and you're not worrying about colors flying off, right? So smooth, chunky style. So we got to get a better demonstration of that here, and we will have in a second. Let me just, while we're waiting for that demonstration. So this is what I've done this last weekend, trying this smooth style. Outline of a picture, and then do the Van Gogh kind of chunk in the colors, and then spray them with a mist. This is a mountain scene here. I like this a lot. This is coming out of Death Hollow. I've had my family and scouts in there a few times. And it's been an interesting trip each time. Coming out at night and seeing the Orion, the waxing moon here. And it's not a coincidence I've added 4 other stars here, so I get 7. So that sort of New Testament perfect number here found in the Gospel of John and in Revelations. So this is a more standard one of our bird ones, but notice that when we do the style here, that we preserve a lot of the colors in a nice way. On this one, I just started doing this, right? So brand new grandpa to this idea. And I sprayed a little bit too much down here, so what I did is I used my fine art spray, which I paint at the end of all paintings, and to preserve them, sprayed it over, and then I went back and put in some more green lines there and outlined the mountains, which had gotten a little bit too wet and running, and then went over and did them again and sprayed them again. So you could probably do layers. I haven't experimented with that. It's always been kind of one pass at my art. And then finally, this is a deer feeding near a waterfall done in a kind of Van Gogh chunky style. Okay, well, to do a better illustration, what Grandpa did, and those pictures I just showed you took about an hour and a half to do, sometimes a couple hours. So between an hour and 2 hours to do those. 11 by 15. So this is a 6 by 9 here, and on this side here we're going to do the chunky style. So I'll cover up the creamy style. This took 25 minutes, but what I was doing was matching stroke for stroke on both sides, so we had, I hope, a legitimate comparison. So I'm going to cover this up. Now here, this tricky part, I think, of doing the chunky style is the spraying, because if you spray too much, you get kind of rivulets of water, and so I don't know what to tell you. I just started doing this. Look in the light maybe and see if there's too much water flowing in any one place. But you can see that it's sort of coming alive here. Dare I spray any more? I think not. I'm looking at it here, and I think it's going to be okay. I pause that for just a second to wipe up the, I didn't quite get everything, wipe up the desktop around here. So that's the chunky style, and now what we're going to do here is what we typically do. On the other side is we'll do the creamy style. So once it's in, the chunky styles actually runs is quicker to do, to light up than the creamy style. So this is the creamy style when I run my brush here in the directions I do my strokes. And that's what we've been doing in more or less in all of Grandpa Butler's art demonstrations. But more specifically, in the last week, we've got this, tried out this Van Gogh idea. I saw his paintings and was just struck by how colorful and beautiful they were. Okay, and we'll go here, do some creamy style in there. Now notice with the creamy style we have a lot of blending here, so we don't get that quite that chunky feel that we do, and we can bring color up to the edges here. in our paintings. So sort of the creamy style of Van Gogh paintings is what we've done recently. And you can see the difference between the two here. And I certainly do have more control when I go with the creamy style, right, over how I might want to fix all of my errors and misjudgments here. And but the chunky style preserves a kind of roughness here in the picture that's also very interesting. So we'll come over here. So Grandpa is going to experiment with both kinds, and we'll post more videos with both kinds. Grandpa likes the watercolor crayons because they're portable. They're ecologically sound, use less water. I've used this same cup of water for a month or more now, and dipping my brush in. I don't have to, since I'm just lighting up these colors, I don't have to change my cloths, watercoloring cloths that I use. So probably advantages and disadvantages of both. If you wanted that to be even more colorful, wait a while, spray it again, let some more of the colors light up here. This lights them all up at once. You can see the difference between the outside sky here and the inside sky, which we haven't lit up yet. Okay, chunky versus creamy. I'm going to try both of them and see if I can find the right mix. But certainly Van Gogh has been an inspiration for a lot of us. Hey, and my inspiration is my family. Thank you so much for all of you. Take care, family and friends. Bye-bye.